So let's now move on to the data presentation and findings. So from the research question number 1, so here are some essential themes on the stereotype representation in the film 365 Days. So these are the themes: gender stereotype, second-class citizen, subordinate to man, weak and helpless, and sex object. So the first one is gender stereotype. So the movie presents the differences between men and women. In terms of social status, it is very evident that the man is richer even if his job is quite aggressive and violent compared to the woman who's working as a sales director but still became dependent to men. So the second one is second-class citizen. Women are presented in that way because no matter what a woman does, she cannot beat the superiority of a man, especially in terms of physical. The third one is subordinate to men. Men are way dominant, and we can also see from the movie that the girl is easy to get. Number 4 is weak and helpless. So women are perceived weak and not able to do men's tasks, while men are seen as the dominant one, the wisest, and the strongest. This last one is sex object. So women are being portrayed in the film as sex toys or object of gratification who experience sexual assault. So from the data that are collected with the use of interviews, there were also two themes that being generated out of the responses from the research question number 2. So the first one is sexually, physically, and psychologically abused. So women portrayed in the film as man's need to satisfy their sexual needs and dependent woman who cannot fight for herself and portrayed as inferior. The next one is typical women. Typical women are just being described as soft and kind-hearted, weak, needy, and submissive. They are strong but most of the time passive. So from the research question number 3, so these are also the essential themes on the insights learned by viewers after watching the film. So the first one is women are to be respected. So the idea of women being portrayed as object of sexual desires. So women are more than that. Women are not just objects to fulfill man's desires. So women deserves respect. So the second one is everyone deserves self-respect and self-love. So every woman deserves self-respect and self-love from the man. Um, it is not just a compulsory, but it should be done to everyone. So the movie serves as an eye-opener to women. So it gave awareness to everyone that men viewed women as a need to satisfy their sexual pleasure. So it somehow became an eye-opener for women to not allow those kinds of things to them. We should be brave enough to know our self-worth and know how to fight for ourselves. So from the data that we have collected, so these are the conclusions that we have constructed. So the first one is appropriate representation and portrayal of women in films are essential in maintaining equality for all gender. It is very important to avoid minorities and portray men and women accordingly without humiliating the opposite gender. So because again, film is one of the most consumed media these days. That is why it is important to portray women's character accordingly. So the second one, on the lens of the feminist film theory, students, viewers, and the participants of this study focused on the function of women characteristics in the film 365 Days and the stereotypes of society's view of women. So the portrayal of women in the film analyzed and explored how women in the film relates to the broader historical context, stereotypes, and the extent to which women are shown as active or passive. Okay, thank you.